heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, my name's Derek, and welcome to the Plus Platoon bonus episode. If you were with us our first episode, I'm a Disney World expert, and I'm going to be going to Disneyland. I leave this Friday. I'm going to be at Disneyland this coming Saturday and this coming Monday. You might ask, why am I a Disney World expert? Guys, I've been to Disney World over 30 times, have planned trips for other people, but I've never been to Disneyland. If you missed the bonus show approximately 2 weeks ago, I was on with Gina, Sam, and Pete, Gina lives at Disneyland, basically. Sam has been there many times, and Pete has been there several times. So it gave me a good piece of information that I needed to know. And Amy says hi. Amy's my wife. She'll be going with me. So if she has questions or input on how I'm doing things, definitely want to know. Nick's with us, says, woohoo, excited for you. Thank you, Nick. I'm really excited too. My wife's out there for 2 weeks for work, so this is going to be a 20th anniversary trip for us. So, as a review, traveling out Friday, I have a 2-day ticket. My wife has a 1-day ticket. We did get park hoppers, and we are doing Genie Plus because we figure the goal is to hit as much in 1 day as we can. And our focus is primarily going to be on items that cannot be done at Walt Disney World. And there's a lot of them. And so, again, Nick says, my t-shirt's amazing. Thank you, Nick. You can tell what my main priority is between this and the Pete's Dragon on the screen behind me. Our main priority is I'm going to see Main Street Electrical Parade both nights I'm there, and my wife's going to see it at least once. So with that, if you remember, as far as lodging, we're going to be staying down in the Carlsbad area, and we had originally thought we were going to drive up that morning and then just go to the parks and then drive back that night. Well, at the end of the episode last time, and after talking it over with Amy, we get a hotel. We're getting a hotel for Friday night and Saturday night. That way we can be there plenty early in the morning. We are going to be staying at the Best Western Plus Park Place Inn. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here so you guys can see it. If you see, Disneyland is kind of there in the middle. And this blue, the blue indicator there is where the hotel is. It is literally directly across the street from where they're going to be dropping off for buses and shuttles. So I really don't think we could get much closer than that unless we were going to stay at Grand Cal, and we really don't have that many points. And there's nothing available. So got a pretty good deal on this. It was about $250 a night by the time we figured in taxes and everything. But it's going to let us be right there. Figure we're only doing this once. This is going to give us the most possible time at the park. And we're staying there Friday night. Go to the park early, then we're also staying there Saturday night. Now, Monday, I am going to drive up early in the morning, and I'm actually going to be staying at the Anaheim Islander Inn. So, zooming out a little bit on this, if you can see, it's the one we're staying at Saturday and Sunday night is directly across from the Esplanade. The Islander Inn is actually down on Catella, basically is across the street from the Toy Story parking lot. So it's really not that far away. And I got a deal on it. It was at least $100 cheaper than our other hotel was. So it's just me. I can leave dark 30 in the morning. I have no issues with that. I'll get up there. This is going to let me stay until the last thing out of the park. And it's less than a mile away, so I'll just be able to walk. So that's where we're going to be staying. Again, that was a little bit different from last time. But my wife and I have also had experiences of where driving back from theme parks at the middle of the night does not always go well. It's one of the reasons I almost always suggest people after a park stay. We were driving back one time. We had about a 90-minute drive from SeaWorld in Orlando back over to the coast, and I was going along getting super sleepy, and I woke up heading for the guardrail of a bridge near where we were. Managed to correct, turned, everything was okay. After that, we don't drive back anymore. We stay the night always. And so I want to thank Pete and I want to thank Gina for talking me into that. Now, what am I going to want to see? Okay. We are starting at Disneyland with our day. Guys, I will say I'm a huge fan of touringplans.com. The Touring Plans app at Disney World, it makes such a difference if you know what order to do stuff. They have put in thousands upon thousands of different wait times and statistics. As I said, it's at touringplans.com. They have, if you subscribe, I believe it's about $20 a year. So to me, it's well worth it. But they have crowd calendars if you're not sure exactly which days you want to go. Looking at this, see, June 18th on a Saturday is a 5 out of 10. I'm talking to Gina. That's nothing like a 5 out of 10 at Disney World. If you'll see, today is a 6 out of 10. Currently on wait times, I'm using laughingplace.com for this. Wait times currently is Big Thunder is 50, but we can still get a Genie Plus at 835. Things along the lines of Space Mountain 60. Guys, I can tell you right now at Magic Kingdom, it would be 90. I don't even have to look. It would be 90. It's, okay, now it's 9 o'clock. Probably not. 6 o'clock on a evening in the summer, Space Mountain's 90 minutes. But for those of you who have used Genie Plus at the parks at Disney World, looking at the ones at Disneyland, you can see there is still a lot of Genie Plus availability. I could literally get a Star Tours for 25 minutes from now. And if you look over at, I could do Buzz Lightyear in an hour. Now, am I going to want to do the Buzz Lightyear? Honestly, guys, only if it's probably a walk-on. But then if you look over at California Adventure Times, I could still get on Goofy Sky School. I could still get on the Grizzly River Run. Now it is down at the moment. I could get on Monsters, Inc. But this is showing that at Disney World, matter of fact, I think they do have an option. Let's look at Magic Kingdom. I know it's 3 hours later, but there are some, like you can get on Tea Party or Magic Carpets, but anything else like Pirates of the Caribbean is in an hour and a half. So, but there are so many attractions that are sold out today at Disneyland that I'm really looking forward to how we're going to do it at Disney World. So what I did, I plugged in the attractions that we wanted to ride at Disneyland, and I put them into touring plans. What you do is you put in the order you want to ride them in, or you just put in random rides, and it will tell you the best order to ride it in. I'm not going to do what they suggest for Disneyland, and here's why. If I did what they suggested for Disneyland, I'd be doing Space Mountain first, then I'd be doing Indiana Jones, then I'd be doing, all the big e-ticket rides first. What you cannot do at Disneyland is account for Lightning Lanes and Genie Plus. To me, the Genie Plus is going to make all the difference. So I'm actually going to follow Pete and Gina's advice, and we're going to hit Fantasyland Dark Rides first. The plan is to go Alice first, because that's the one that's going to get longest. Then hit Storybook Land Canal Boats, go Mr. Toad, Snow White, and Pinocchio. If we hit all those in order, that should take us about an hour. Meanwhile, we are watching the Space Mountain Lightning Lane return times. When the Space Mountain Lightning Lane return times hits about 8:30 or 8:40, we're going to book a Space Mountain return time, because that will give us until 9:30 or 9:40 to get over there. Once we get in line for Space Mountain, we're going to book one for Indiana Jones. Space Mountain, typically, I've been watching them the last couple of weeks. Space Mountain has been the ones that are filling up a little bit first. So we're going to go then over to Indiana Jones. Again, this has us waiting 25 minutes at each of them. With the lightning lanes, we're not going to wait that long. And we've already got the Genie Plus purchased, so there's no reason not to. Then we will either be hitting a lightning lane for Matterhorn bobsleds, or if the line isn't very long, we will just go over and drop that. That does have a single rider line, so my wife and I will be using a lot of single rider lines. There's a couple we won't be, and we will get to those in a little bit. Also, at 8 o'clock, once we scan into the park, we will be buying Radiator Springs Racers individual lightning lanes. The goal is to shoot for about a 2 o'clock return time on those, just because that way we know we have until 3 if we need it to get over to DCA. So, after Indiana Jones, the plan is to go to Tiki Room next, get our Dole Whips in the morning. Yes, we will probably get another set of Dole Whips in the afternoon. Then go back, hit Matterhorn and Small World, Big Thunder, and if we have time for it, we're going to hit Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. We may not have time for it because we also do need to get some lunch in there, and we can park hop starting at 1 o'clock. Some of the ones I haven't mentioned, the Railroad, we might ride Tomorrowland to Main Street just so we can see the diorama on day 1. If not, I'll probably do a full lap ride on day 2, but we'll get there here in a little bit. Haunted Mansion, again, is not a priority. Yes, there's the True Elevators. Yes, there's the Hatbox Ghost, but the ride itself isn't that huge. I would definitely ride it on day 2 if we don't have time for day 1. Millennium Falcon, we'll probably ride if we can get either a same time Genie Plus or do single rider. Lately, Genie Pluses have been running about half an hour after, like, being able to get Genie Plus is about half an hour out on Millennium Falcon. But it's the same as it is at Hollywood Studios. And we're frequenters at Disney World. Okay. Big Thunder Mountain, again, if we have time day 1, we'll ride it. This says we should. But if it looks like it's not going to work, we will skip that and hit that later. Snow White's another one that if we have time, great. If it looks like our Fantasyland schedule is not working out that well, we'll probably skip Snow White. Would probably be honestly the one we skipped. Definitely want to make sure we do the Storybook Canal boats. The Sleeping Beauty walkthrough in the castle, I'm probably going to do on day 2. I mean, it's a 5-minute walkthrough, and we'll see how we have time on. It's a Small World. We really want to see that. We also really want to see the We Don't Talk About Bruno projections that's on it, because that sounds something we've seen the videos of it online, and it sounds amazing. So Buzz will be either a day 2, or if we can get an immediate lightning lane. I'm not waiting for Buzz, but if we have time, sure. Same thing with Star Tours. As far as where we're wanting to eat, I had several suggestions. The Plaza Inn is a suggestion. Also thought about the French Market over in New Orleans Square, where there they suggested either the Shrimp Po' Boy or the Monte Cristo. The Jolly Holiday Bakery has sandwiches and such. So it sounds like we're probably doing sandwiches and such for lunch. We do not have any sit-down reservations because, A, we don't want to take the time to sit down. B, we started planning this 2 weeks ago, and there's no availability left. So the plan is to get out of Disneyland and over to Disney World. My goal is no later than 2 o'clock. I'm hoping it's before that, but my goal is 2 o'clock to get out of Disneyland over to Disney World, having hit most of those rides. I think with Genie Plus, I think it's going to be definitely doable, especially once you realize once you check in, you can book another one, or if it's too far out, after 2 hours, you can book another one. So I also put in a plan for California Adventure on Saturday. This one I did let Touring Plans identify it for us. 5 big rides that we're kind of wanting to do over at California Adventure. Wanting to do Incredicoaster. The Radiator Springs Racers, as I said, we will be buying a individual Lightning Lane 4 because, yes, it has single rider, but at least the first time around, my wife and I want to ride together. And she says, it sounds fun. So that's the goal. Radiator Springs Racers, then probably head over to the Avengers campus and hit Web Slingers again. We'll see what lines are like on that, whether we decide to pay for the individual Lightning Lane or do single rider. And the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is the Tower of Terror re-theme to Guardians of the Galaxy. And then the last thing we have planned there is the Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue. So this has us, if we start at 2 o'clock, walking in the front door DCA, Touring Plans has us done by about 4:30. I honestly think that's going to be a little optimistic because we're going to want to stand, we're going to want to look, we're going to do some browsing because, as I said, we've never been there before, especially back in Cars Land. But let's figure we're done at 5 o'clock. Okay. California Adventure doesn't close till 10. Disneyland doesn't close until midnight. We've got all this time. We can go do a whole lot more stuff. Now, will it be as hard as we hit it in the morning? No. But there are a few things we definitely want to see as the evening goes on. As far as some of the other rides, Soarin', I didn't mention. It is my wife's favorite ride over at Disney World. If we can get an immediate fast pass or there's not much of a wait, we will do Soarin', but otherwise that's not on the agenda again because it's exactly the same. Galaxy's Edge, again, it's exactly the same. I'm not going to pay for Rise of the Resistance fast pass or Lightning Lanes since it's the exact same ride as it is at World. Doesn't make sense. As far as where we're going to eat, a couple of suggestions were Pim's food or Flo's V8 Cafe. I think Flo's looks interesting. I've seen nothing but good reviews on Flo's. And so that's kind of the thought there. We aren't sure. We want to try and see Cars Land in the evening or at night. When we're there, sunset's about 8:02, so the lights will be coming on about 8:05. We may or may not be around in Cars Land for the lighting up of Cars Land. Do want to try and see it at night. I will definitely be seeing it at night the second day, but this first day, we're not real sure. That brings us then to the nighttime shows. Guys, we watched, and I know you can't go by what's on YouTube. You can't go by what's on, watching it on TV or computer is not the same thing. Guys, we're going to do the Disneyland Forever fireworks show instead of World of Color. And here's why. A, my wife and I are huge fireworks fans. B, the World of Color reminds me so much of Harmonious I was not a fan of Harmonious at Epcot. I understand, it's totally different. Yeah, you see it from this one direction and everything's fine. It's a water projection show. It's yay. Honestly, is how we think about it. No, I do think I'm going to try and see it the second night. But for Saturday night, we are going to see the Disneyland Forever fireworks show. Then we will stick around for the Main Street Electrical Parade. Probably try and see the 10:45 one of that. We may try and see the 8:45 one. And we're also not sure, guys, if we want to try and get over and see Fantasmic or not. I know it's similar to the one at Hollywood Studios, but yet it's different. But that's kind of our plan for the evening. And head back to the hotel. Since we don't have to wait on shuttles, we don't necessarily have to wait. Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this. We don't necessarily have to wait until everything closes down. We will probably want to wait until everything closes down, but it's not necessarily a necessity. Guys, I know there's at least a couple of you out there watching. What are your thoughts so far? I know Amy likes it. Nick, I know you're out there. I know you're listening. If you have a chance, what are your thoughts about the plan? Gina has suggested watching Main Street Electrical Parade right near the Jolly Holiday Bakery. Honestly, guys, if I can, I really want to see it on Main Street USA somewhere, just because, and I will do this the second night, I know, there's nothing like sitting on the curb on Main Street USA, watching Main Street Electrical Parade come down the road. There's that low bass note. There is nothing. That is my favorite moment, probably on the one of my favorite moments on the planet, definitely my favorite moments at Disney, is sitting on Main Street USA and the low bass note and the fanfare of the electronics. As I said, then the next day we're going to be going driving down the coast, going to get on the beach, going to do that kind of thing. Then on Monday, I'm driving back. I will be leaving really early, but you guys got to remember, my body clock right now is 2 hours ahead, which that's going to come in. That's going to be nice on Saturday morning, but Saturday night, midnight's going to feel like 2 a.m. to me. So that's going to be a struggle. But, the things I'll do to take one for the team. I guess if I have to stay up late, I can. But, so Nick says Trader Sam's is always a good hangout. Nick, am I correct? That's over at Disneyland Hotel. I'm thinking of this off the top of my head, so please correct me if I'm wrong or confirm it. He says his favorite treat in Disneyland Resort is the raspberry macaroon at Jolly Holiday Bakery. I have also heard that at DCA, the Clarabelle's has a hand-dipped ice cream bar that's very, very good. So, but part of me also says it's hard to beat a Dole Whip float. I know in Florida, that's one of the things. Get that about 2:33 in the afternoon. It actually can help calm you down and cool you down. Forecasted high for Saturday is 74. Forecasted high for Monday is 80, at least the last I saw. But that's not going to be bad, guys. Here today, it's 93, feels like 102. Disney World, it was 89, feels like 103 when I checked right before I came on. So 73 feels like 76. Guys, I'll take it. Totally take it. And Nick says, Trader Sam's is at the Disneyland Hotel. Can take a sneak peek at the DVC tower going up there. It's at like floor 5 or so. Yeah, I'll be honest, Nick. We are DVC members, but I bought resale, so I'm not holding my breath on being able to get into the Disneyland Hotel DVC. And my wife asked if someone has suggestions after watching or listening in the next few days, how should they contact me? Guys, please, if you do have suggestions, if I'm going to be doing something completely wrong, if I'm doing something, need to confirm that I'm doing something right, please email me, plusplatoon@gmail.com. I will be checking that email as I go forward. And yeah, please give me the suggestions. What have I missed? I do know on at least day 2, day 1 if we have time, but at least day 2, I will be doing the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln show. But I'm not sure that we will have, that's not going to be one of our priorities on day 1. So, guys, with that, thank you so much for those of you who are watching, those of you who will watch later. Please give me your tips, tricks, suggestions, anything I've missed. Either comment on the video, I will check the comments afterwards, or again, email me at plusplatoon@gmail.com. We are normally on Tuesdays at 9 Eastern, and we're also on all the major podcasting platforms. Nick says that everyone thinks that churros are much better at Disneyland than Disney World. Also been, catching that. That's going to be one of the things we make sure we hit too. So with that, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. And I'll be posting an update, probably I might try and do a couple lives from the park on Saturday, and then a Sunday, how things go and what I'm going to do different on Monday. So with that, guys, have a great evening, and I will talk to everybody later. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcasts and leave those 5-star reviews, as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com, or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @PlusPlatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.